Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teak. With, like always, is my friendly neighborhood buddy Noah Bailey.
What up?
Even though we're currently not living in the same neighborhood, but whatever.
Nor have we ever, I don't think. But I think it's fine.
We live in the same general area when we're at school together.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, details. Anyway.
And today we'll start off by reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home, the first Marvel movie to come out after Avengers Endgame. So a lot of people are probably skipping it for, arbitrary reasons, but my opinion, you shouldn't, because I really liked it. General thoughts without spoiling it. Go.
Okay. That's point. Really good movie. I like I kind of like the premise of first I thought the whole the next Iron Man thing was kind of corny, but as it went on, it kind of got a lot cooler for me.
Yeah.
And actually seeing it done was really done well. I like the interactions of the students and everything, how things were you still knew something crazy happened with the whole snap undoing and stuff like that, and just weird stuff, but it was also kind of cool just to life has to go back to normal, just dealing with that. It was a lot of fun. It was not. I love it. This one wasn't as funny in all the moments, but the serious moments, it was really good. And I think that was the mix of funny and serious. Yeah,
just the opening 5 minutes honestly might have been my favorite part of the movie. Aside of the very, very end, we'll get to that. Just showing the blip of people disappearing and then reappearing, that Marshman got hit in the face by a basketball.
Yeah, Marshman who got smacked in the face.
That'd be rolling.
Yo, that was funny.
And then as the Marvel logo was rolling and I Will Always Love You is playing, and then it goes to that PowerPoint of Iron Man Captain America's at first I thought it was a serious send off to these characters, but then after the second picture I was oh, this is close to PowerPoint.
No, it was
that
funny because I was
that is the right way to within Spider-Man's universe to have a kind of nice send off, but also make it kind of ironically funny. It's because no one ever uses that song seriously, especially
anymore,
nowadays. It's always
it's a meme.
Yeah, so the fact that they use it as a backdrop for a PowerPoint presentation type thing, just I really like that.
Yeah, really good stuff. Really good. Just
go.
No, go. Okay, go. No, really good. Yeah, really good intro, just going and just I will say, it was a little interesting how they got started with the whole the blip or whatever. Because first of all, I think the name's stupid, but that's okay.
Better than calling the snap the decimation, when it's literally not cutting things in tenths, but it's literally cutting it in half. Okay.
I thought this shit was called the snap. I thought that was just fine. I don't really. I guess a lot of people didn't know what happened in terms of how it actually happened. There's no people died mostly. I guess they didn't go into detail, but I don't know. I think blip just sounds kind of weird. It sounds blip. When I think of blip, I think of a little small thing on my screen. Oh, it's a little blip.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. Half the world died.
More than likely, from a person in that universe's perspective, it was actually just they disappeared and then came back. More than likely, it wasn't the whole fade away into dust, because that would just cause a lot of litter. So I guess in that context it would make sense to call it a blip, because they just blink out of existence. But
yeah, I guess they kind of you saw them fade away, but I guess they kind of came back instantly, so I guess that was kind of fun with it. But it's oh my god, hello.
Yeah, because we didn't see anyone come back in Endgame. They just showed up.
Right, it showed up in the end, but this was the first time we just saw it happen in real time, and just. My thing though is this is a really scary thought, but what if you were in a car or in a plane? You just appear back where you were.
That helicopter that crashed in
Exactly. So do you just appear back in the sky and just fall to your death?
I don't know.
That's so unfair.
Honestly, Iron Man and Hulk should have been more specific about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you literally in a plane?
They come back today in the safest the closest, safest position relative to where they were.
But then that might have been too complicated and all this stuff. They're like, or like if you're on a train, you just back on the tracks and then get hit by a train in 5 seconds. Like, oh gosh, that's so unfair if you think about it. Like, oh man, I got snapped, but we came back, but I was on a plane, so I just felt.
Yeah, or like if you were in like think from Far From Home, like a lot of people were in the bleachers. If you were in the bleachers at the time of getting snapped and someone's in your seat, do you like snap inside of that other person?
like that SpongeBob episode, you just become that one person. Like,
no.
Oh, that would suck. Nah, that would. I don't even want to think about that. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So cool that they got everybody back. I think it's interesting. I like the concept of like some people were just they were like kids, and then 5 years later they're like, oh, now we're in the same grade.
Now my younger brother is now older than me. It's like,
yeah,
sweet.
That was interesting. I was like, I'm like, that must actually suck. Like, imagine that.
Because like that's a lot of the thoughts that people had coming out of Endgame. Is like, what about people that are, like, there's another school for people who weren't snapped? Like, what happened?
Right, and they just kind of threw everyone back together, which I'm kind of like. Okay, but I don't know.
But it is a very easy way to just take every named character from Homecoming and just be like, yeah, they were all snapped. Flash Thompson, Ned, MJ, they were all snapped.
Yeah. So then, like, other people weren't, I guess, because some of the classmates are different. Like, I mean, that's fine, but it just, I don't know, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
no Gwen Stacy from what we saw, so like that was something some people had an idea about. It was like, oh yeah, maybe she's 5 years
Gwen Stacy yet, like, or at all, honestly. Because Zendaya's Mary Jane is the first time I've actually like liked in any context any of Spider-Man's girlfriends, because like both Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy in the comics and in any movie they've been in, they are so boring.
And just like their role is the damsel.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting about either of their characters. They're basically the same character, just different colored hair.
Different hair color, yeah.
So Zendaya actually like being a character in any capacity is good to me. I know,
she has emotions. Congratulations, you win.
Like she actually, had agency in the story, which I really appreciate. Like during the climax, she's actually helping to fight off those drones. Like that's cool.
She actually does something, and I don't know. I've always liked her character. Like she's not just like the pretty popular girl. Like she's just as much an outcast as they are.
Yeah, and that's what actually I really like about the entire cast. Like even Flash Thompson, he is a nerd, but he's like he's like the coolest nerd in a group of nerds. So he's still allowed to bully other people, but more than likely he would still probably be bullied by other people. But like within Spider-Man's world, he's the bully.
Yeah, and he's a different kind of bully.
He's just a rich nerd, and that's what makes him cool.
Exactly, and it's like I think that's more like a relatable bully as people are growing up now. Because like the older I got in school, bullies weren't really the big kid; they were just the like annoying rich kids, douchebag kind of kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to think of anything before I want to get into spoilers. Yeah, just go into spoilers. Like they didn't even try to hide Quentin being evil.
Well, I mean, if you've ever read a comic book, you know he's the bad guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. There were certain things here and there that, like, even if you were just like thinking about it for half a second, they're like, oh, he's clearly tricking Spider-Man. He's clearly like lying about this. And then when it was finally revealed, oh yeah, he is Mysterio, like he is a bad guy, and like with probably the greatest exposition dump in cinematic history of just like literally everyone in that room knew everything he was about to say, but because the audience didn't know, like he just
right.
Oh, it was awesome. Like it wasn't that hard, was it?
Explaining things, good job. But no, it's and like I know one criticism, like I saw some people put it as like, oh wow, where have I seen this before? Someone that Tony Stark didn't appreciate. Oh no, I don't like it. Now I'm gonna be a villain. Like, yes, that happens like every
But that's
time.
kind of how this universe that's just how this universe is.
Yeah, because like yeah, that happens. Like this is what like the third or fourth time I think that's
Uh,
happened. But I
all
mean,
three Iron Man movies,
right?
in both Spider-Man movies. So,
Yeah,
because
that's
Vulture
not.
was also like that.
Yeah, I guess that's not. Well, yeah, yeah, pretty close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really did appreciate the one guy that like was the dude that Obadiah was yelling at in Iron Man 1, like actually came
hmm
back.
Yeah.
Uh, and just honestly, I feel that Mysterio was the right kind of villain for this movie. Like
hmm
he wasn't some huge end of world type villain. A he's a very, kind of middle of the road, like just type of villain that Spider-Man or really the MCU like should be going up against right now after you just had a Thanos. Like this is
hmm
right, I feel.
Yeah. Very, yeah, very chill. Like, yes, like he's supposed to do like big, oh, we're trying to get an Avengers level threat or whatever. But at the same time, okay, no universe ending stuff
Mm,
for a few
yeah,
years. And like,
please.
like something like just Spider-Man can handle. And I thought it
Mm,
was interesting how like I get his plans, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show the world that I'm the next hero and all this stuff. But my thing is, okay, but even if you did pull this off, what happens when something real actually happens?
yeah,
Like, what do you do about that? Like,
I don't know. I guess he'll trick them with his illusion stuff and hope that
I
works. I mean, he
I
actually, well,
guess
he has the drones that can do
the
they can
girl,
shoot
but I
whatever.
mean,
So,
but they're just cloaked machine guns basically, which I mean is good, but I mean, is
but
that really gonna?
if a
I don't know.
Galactus shows up, and you can't really drones
No,
can't really do much with Galactus.
no.
But
Like,
I did
no.
really like the his whole thesis of like nowadays anyone will believe pretty much anything as long as someone seemingly important says it, and I just
Yeah,
yeah, and that's
and like it's true.
it's
Like
true.
not
Like in
even
the
in the cup, like
media,
that's in
on
the real
Facebook, on Twitter,
world.
like everywhere. Like if someone important sounding says it, like at least half of the population will at least buy into it. Like crazy.
Yes, for no reason.
hmm uh,
It's great, and I gotta admit, I liked Beck's character because like although like yeah, like you said, it was like oh wow, he's the villain a mile away. Like he was still like a good person to talk to, and he actually did give
hmm
Peter some decent advice
I
throughout
mean,
the
he was only
film.
doing that to like try to win him over, but
Right, but
he
I
still
know, but at the
helped.
same,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he still helped him though, and
Mm.
like obviously, I mean obviously it was stupid. And Peter's like, no, you should take the glasses after, even though I've only known you for a few days. Like, dude,
Mm.
like that was dumb. But
Yeah, and
also
like
the drone.
uh, it, Spider-Man, he really should have known. Like when Quentin Beck just like I should do something I should have done in the first place, and just like got a bunch of green energy around him and flew into the fire elemental and just exploded it. Like why didn't you just? And it didn't kill you. Like why not just do that in the first place? Like Spider-Man should
Mm-hmm.
have been tipped off at that point. Like he has more he's not telling me, at least power wise.
And even if you didn't start with that, we should have at least talked about that.
Yeah, could have at least told me, hey, I have this big finisher move if everything goes south. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I, I have something I could
Yeah.
try.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, like again more spoiler, like, and I know like for me, I didn't tip Nick Fury didn't tip me off that he wasn't real or a scroll or
Mm.
whatever, but Maria Hill did
How?
because like usually she was really like mean.
On edge, kind of?
Like yeah, like the
Yeah.
whole time. And like usually she's not like that. She's just kind of casual and just like, whatever. This is what we do. But
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, whatever, go. And I was like, is she off to you?
Mm.
Like, and it wasn't really Fury. I was like, okay, Fury. Like Fury fooled me. I'll be honest.
Towards the end, I kind of got the feeling that this Fury didn't really know a lot. Like, there were many times, like, it kept saying stuff like he kept pretending like he knew something, and then Maria Hill was like, oh, he didn't know that at all. It's like, you don't have to say that. It's or the fact that he was just completely fooled by Mysterio saying there are multiple universes, like, which like there are. That was foreshadowed in Doctor Strange, but like you
But they
wouldn't
didn't know that.
you wouldn't. How would Nick Fury not know about this happen? Like the Eternals, or not, sorry, the Elementals. Nick Fury would have known that the Elementals would come here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do really appreciate how in the trailer they had something along the lines of Nick Fury saying that the snap tore a hole in our reality, but they took that out because
Mm-hmm.
with given the context of how like the fact that multiple dimensions isn't actually like a part of this, that would have been too much for really anyone to buy because clearly that didn't happen. So I'm glad they took that part out.
Yeah, they took. I don't know, but they also took that like dinner party or whatever scene out from the trailer.
That's
like
gonna
the
be
main one.
it's gonna be released as like a digital short with the DVD.
I guess, but that was, I don't know. I
would
was
have liked to see it
that
too.
scene looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that scene looked really good. He's like, "You gonna be the new Iron Man?" Nah, bro. I'm too busy doing your job. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh, that would have been great." Like that was like I was really hoping that was gonna like start off the movie or something. It was just,
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about it until it was over. I was like, "Oh, they never did this."
Yeah, and another thing that like was a little confusing about like all of Mysterio's plan is that it never really explained how he did everything with the elementals before he got Edith. Like, did he have drones before that? We never saw drones before the Edith drones. I don't. Did we?
What? Wait a minute.
Because he had those tech guys
minute.
around, but I don't think they ever actually.
No,
like,
no, no. He had to still. No, I think he still had the draw. I think he just had more control of them because of the. Because
Okay.
like the guy still was like behind the desk and stuff, doing stuff. He's like, oh yeah, this projector and all that stuff. So like, I think he still had it. I think just Edith made it easier.
Okay. It just never explicitly showed the drones that he had before
Right.
he got Edith, so
Right.
like it would make sense that he had him. I just wish they would have explained.
Right.
all
Like
his
yeah,
plans.
no, he had to have had them because I mean he'd been doing this
Yeah.
for a while before he got Spider-Man. So like,
Like
I
not
think
that they
Edith-
didn't explain his plans super well in the exposition dump, but like that one little detail would have made it a little.
Yeah,
It is a
and
little
I mean,
confusing, but-
if they had obviously they had to explain it before he got Edith, it would have ruined the twist. So like, it's just assumed that happened
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Oh, and just the sequence when that we've all been waiting for when Mysterio just completely went into Spider-Man's mind and just started just messing with like and like the zombie Iron Man coming out, just that entire sequence was just
That was
perfect.
crazy. I was losing my mind because I was like, it looked like something out of like one of like the Arkham games when like Scarecrow messes
Yeah.
with you and all the stuff like jumps out at you. He's like, I like and like going crazy.
Yeah.
Everything keeps changing. And then when he gets like, I'm sorry, Spider-Man, and then like he goes back to reality, he gets hit by this train, and I was like, bruh,
Oh.
that was great. Like that was actually crazy.
I like just how nice all the people in the Netherlands were. Like that is accurate. Everyone up in the Nordic countries are so nice.
It's like, where am I?
Oh, okay. Oh, and the scene where he's talking to Happy, and then he's like, you'll never be the next Iron Man. That's not who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be. You're like Iron Man wouldn't have done what he did if it weren't. He didn't know you'd be here, but he didn't want you to be. He didn't want you to be him. He told you specifically he wanted you to be not him specifically. So do you like?
Yeah. And the scene where he's making his own suit, that's a really, I really like that.
I like it playing a little bit the Avengers theme in the background. And Happy looking at him you knew exactly what Happy was thinking. Like he's not Iron Man, but this is I recognize that boy right now.
Yeah, and he's like turning and he's got like the like holograms on his arm and
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, let me go. Like,
Although
cool.
I feel this Spider-Man would know that Back in Black is by
AC/DC?
AC/DC.
Not Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean,
The
yeah.
big of a fanboy he is,
He
I'm
got the
pretty sure
first.
he wouldn't mistake that for Led Zeppelin, but okay.
I love Led Zeppelin. I was just
He would
like,
have loved the Ragnarok, but
I
although
mean, you can't get all the pop culture
I
references.
guess. Although I'm not entirely sure why, given all those possibilities, why Spider-Man would make just another suit that was very similar to his first suit, just black instead of blue.
Well, it had extra. Oh yeah, but it had extra like capabilities,
I
like
mean,
the
yeah,
wings and
yeah,
stuff
but
are new and
you have the ability
cool
to have the
stars.
nanotech or another Iron Spider like legs and whatnot, but you went for another one. We have to actually take the mask off, but whatever. Like
Yeah,
it's
sure.
recognizable to this world of Spider-Man, so I guess that's what he was going for.
Because they didn't want to make that much more CGI.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why.
fair.
Which is understandable, because especially in the beginning scene where he's at the like fundraiser, the CGI looked
It looked a little
unfortunate next to
off.
it. Yeah, it looked like not terrible, but like I was like, oh, it's not great, but it's okay.
Mm,
But yeah,
yeah,
I understand. Plus, I like it. Like the red and black works pretty well. It looks
yeah,
good.
yeah. That's one of my favorite color combos. Like, I have nothing wrong with the
Right, and the
suit as
white
a
spider on the
concept,
back.
but like, I just don't know why, with all those possibilities, why he would make that suit specifically. But
Yeah, but
whatever.
maybe he thought like the Infinity War Iron Spider thing was too Iron Man-y, maybe.
Yeah, he wanted to just make his own thing. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
What do you feel? How do you feel about Mysterio's death? I assume he's actually dead.
I assume he's dead, but I would like it if he was still alive because I actually liked his villain.
Mm.
But I think how it happened was pretty interesting. I like the idea how it was like he was fake doing it, and the spider says like that's not really him. Like,
Mm.
I was like that was kind of cool because I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, yeah. Mysterio is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains because of just how he interacts with Spider-Man. Like,
Hmm.
illusion magic is like the perfect thing to go up against Spider Sense. Spider Sense perfect thing to go up against illusion magic. So it's
Exactly.
just
It's just
so
pooping
him
out
like
poo
using
poo,
his
you
Peter
know?
Tingle and like jumping around, like dodging drones that he can't even see. Like,
Yo, that was sick too. Like the hallway where he's just running at him.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, I think that was really cool. The only thing I will say, I wish there was more of a sound effect for the spider sense.
yeah.
So I know it's not and I know it wouldn't make a sound outside of in his head, but
Mm.
I don't know. I'm just so used to like in not in comics, you don't hear it.
But you like you see
In
the
like
the,
movie, yeah, but like you see it or you hear it in like other movies and like definitely in
yeah,
cartoons, you like hear it's a little like something going
yeah.
off in his head. But
Even like
it's
Spider-Man
fine.
PS4,
Like,
you see the wiggly.
yeah, yeah, the crazy head stuff going
Yeah.
on. But yeah, maybe that's just the nostalgia in me. But it's fine. It still was really good. You could tell when he was using it, obviously,
Mm.
but kind of helps you work with him. Like, wait, no, that didn't set my spider sense. That's not real. Okay, that was real. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
an excessive move.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, like I said, him just like right reaching up and grabbing the gun out of his hand, just yeah.
Pretty sick.
And like, I knew as soon as he said execute them all, like I was like, I feel he should have said something a little less intense. But then as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, something bad's gonna happen with him saying execute them all, like execute all the drone orders. He's gonna spin that somehow.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna work.
Mm.
But no, but very good. Yeah, very good. I don't know. I just like the concept of like how Mysterio, because like it's different. Like Mysterio's kind of different every time. Like sometimes it's like, oh, it's a lot of smoke in here, and this time it was cool because it was like literally like state of the art illusion technology
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool,
Yeah.
especially in 2019.
Like, and I appreciate how they call back from Civil War, where like that technology was actually already established, and
Yeah, it was Tony Stark's thing, which again was really cool.
yeah.
Oh man, that was nice.
And I really appreciate how Ned and Becky, what was her name? That the girl,
Ready?
Betty. Yeah, they didn't annoy me. I was so prepared for their little relationship to annoy me, and it didn't. So
And it's over too. I thought that was a good touch. They were like,
Mhm.
okay, no, we're done now. I was like, okay, I like that. Like, it didn't really make sense to begin with, so I'm okay with that. Okay, tripped over, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
I think that was a good little mix.
But then now MJ and Spider-Man are together, which
Peter,
yeah.
yeah.
Just I feel like these two are just the perfect adaptation of this character, especially for this universe. Like Spider-Man actually being
They're
somewhat
so
you know, a
awkward.
kid and like an awkward teen, her
Mhm.
being like a kind of closed off but still wanting to show emotion but doesn't really know how. Like that. That's the right way
Right,
to
and
play his
also
characters.
awkward, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really good. Like, they're awkward together, kind of, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. It just works kind of in a way. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Now, the ending.
Dude, okay. I will say that I got excited, but I never yelled during the entire movie. But, bro, when J.K. Simmons came back, I lost.
Yes.
I have never been so happy in my
Oh.
entire life. Me and my friends were losing it. It was hilarious. It was like, oh,
So glad that wasn't spoiled for me or you. Like,
oh my gosh. Dude, that was so great.
like just the roller coaster of emotions. Like how they said this video was posted on a controversial news site, the Daily Bugle, and then it showed the video, and I was thinking, oh, that's a nice callback to the Daily Bugle. He might work there at some point in the future. And then after it was over, J.K. Simmons and like clearly like an Alex Jones type conspiracy theorist, like news anchor type.
So great.
That is the right way to play that character. Yes.
So happy. It was.
They've already
my
kind of
God.
delved into that, like paper is dead. Let's move to online video stuff in the comics and Spider-Man PS4. Like he has his own podcast and that
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I feel like this is perfect for JK JJJ.
Great. So, oh my God, I was so happy. It was just like it's so like I know it's dumb, but that was my favorite part of the entire movie. Just because
easy.
like not, he exists and it's happening and it's like this can be for everything and like it makes sense now. His motivation for hitting Spider-Man's medicine makes sense because he's gonna think, oh, Mysterio was such a great hero. Now Spider-Man, it's like, oh, you're stupid, but you're great. I love it. And like,
It's a public menace.
exactly. He's like, get me pictures of Spider-Man Parker. Like, dude, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I'm literally so happy. Oh,
like I don't think Peter Parker's ever gonna work for the Daily Bugle, but I think at least that video will have more influence in the next Spider-Man or next like Avengers.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
One thing is, I didn't think so either because I'm like, well, he has no thing about photography. Then my friend pointed out he did take pictures, kind of like while he was swinging a couple times.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe he'll see like an ad or something, like pictures of Spider-Man, big money, and he's like,
okay.
Maybe like saving up for a car or something, even though he definitely won't need one. And then like
and again, J.K. Simmons Jameson being like an Alex Jones type conspiracy theorist dude plays into Mysterio's theory of if you say literally anything in a commanding voice, people will believe it these days. Like but it was so hilarious. Like during the credits, at the very end, it's like this is a work of fiction. Anything that appears to be, that appears to relate back to real life is just coincidental. No, that's clearly
they have to say that though. They have to say that, or bad things will happen. So great.
Just a coincidence, guys. We didn't. What do you mean to have the exact same setup, exact same color background, exact same exact same mannerisms, everything?
So great, dude. Oh my gosh, it's just, and like the ending was just great because it's like, oh my god, because like he's swinging and then it's like, oh, Peter Parker, he is Spider-Man, and like just that shot of
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean that's huge. Like how is that gonna? Because like one thing to point out is you gotta remember, a few, you know, you gotta remember, like, I don't know if they were gonna, like, at the end of Homecoming, I don't know if they were gonna reveal his identity, but like they were gonna introduce Spider-Man originally, so like maybe that would have been part. And like a lot of the other Avengers either don't have secret identities or don't care. Like,
Yeah, but
I
like
mean, you
he's the
think about
one
it,
character who his secret identity is his whole thing. So
exactly. I mean, like Black Panther. I mean, yeah,
doesn't
I'm
care.
the
Iron
king
Man
of
didn't
Wakanda.
care.
Like,
Captain America is just Captain America. Thor is Thor.
exactly.
Hulk
Like
is
Thor
clearly
is
Bruce
literally
Banner.
Thor. Like, yeah, like there's not really anyone who has
Yeah.
a secret identity anymore.
Huh.
And it's kind of just him. So I'm like, is this really gonna be a big deal? Because
I
like
think
it's
it'll be a
not
big deal to him. And there's also a pretty high chance that since it is on the Daily Bugle, which is already, pretty controversial as it is, like a lot of people won't really believe it, but I think enough people will that he might. I don't know.
right. Because
Yeah, I don't know
right,
like
'cause you
how
got my
exactly
guy.
they'll do that, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, whatever the guy, what Wen I think the guy's name is, he was already like speculating, and he's all like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, just randomly in that hotel or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, does no one think this is weird?
Oh,
And then
Brad.
they all turn it off.
Yeah, Brad.
Is that what Brad? That's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had no idea what his name was. But everyone looks at him, and it's like, bro, like, what? Like, oh, what? Maybe you're acting weird, man. Attacking someone else is not the, and like they somehow spin it on him. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know, like, really interesting because like, is that going to be a really big deal for him? Because
I don't know.
mean,
I
it's
feel
not really for anyone else.
it's a very good way to like close out Phase 3 and like this is a big deal, especially for Spider-Man. Find out what happens next in the next phase, and also apparently under what used to be Stark Tower, there's like this billboard that said like 1, 2, 3. Find out like something big's coming next. So they could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, as in the Fantastic Four buying that building, or just Phase 4 has something big coming, but
Or both.
or hopefully both.
I'm like, what about? Yeah, I mean, that would be sick. But like, I mean, even the Fantastic Four, they don't have secret. Like at this point, who really has a secret identity anymore? Like,
Yeah, because in the Civil War comic, that was like the big thing over. Like they were trying to like not Sokovia Accords, but like that's kind of what is it called in the comics? Not the Mutant Registry, like the Hero Registry.
something like that.
Yeah, but that was basically what the war was fought over. And Captain America actually did have an identity in. They did have a secret identity in the comics at that point, but in the MCU, he's just Steve Rogers. So
Yeah, it just I am Steve Rogers. You know, like he doesn't really. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think no. Like my thing is, I think it'll be a big deal for his like social life because it's like, oh my gosh, I finally got the girl I like to be my girlfriend or whatever, and then it's like, oh, by the way, you're probably gonna like, are they gonna have to make him move to Avengers Tower or whatever? Or, like,
I don't know. Are they gonna make it like move schools even? Like I don't.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do they have to like move or who knows? But
And then like, I was actually spoiled on Nick Fury being a Skrull before going in, but like, I knew it wouldn't. I was hoping it wouldn't be a big deal, and it wasn't. He was just a Skrull for this movie. But
yeah,
Nick Fury being in space, that feels important.
that's some he's doing some Nick Fury stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but Captain Marvel 2 or something maybe.
Yeah, I
like,
guess. Probably Guardians 3,
Maybe
even, or
it's-
just Eternals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or maybe Guardians 3, or maybe who knows. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. 'Cause at first I thought he was just on vacation. I was just like,
I mean, sure, why not?
like he's just.
He's been
Yeah,
gone a
I'm
long
like,
time.
well, after dying, I'd probably want to go on vacation too.
Like Spider-Man did. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, I'd probably want to go on vacation too. But it's like, no, he's in space somewhere, just chilling, doing something.
So yeah, that's clearly setting up something big for the future. I'm just so excited for Comic-Con for them to announce what's happening next.
So wait, now what's the next Marvel movie?
We don't know. We don't
so
know
that's
specifically what's coming after this.
So that's it. Like we're just
We know
waiting
that
now.
Black Widow, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, the Eternals, maybe one other. Guardians 3. We know that these movies are coming. We just don't know when.
No, we don't know when. We don't know what order, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we wait. I don't like waiting.
Yeah, so like probably at Comic-Con they'll announce like what'll come out next year, and then at least tease X-Men, Fantastic Four. Hopefully that'd be great. At least concept art, at least.
It's gonna be beautiful one of these days.
But yeah, I really liked Far From Home. I felt it was the right movie that needed to come. I don't know if it necessarily needed to come this close after Endgame. Like within the movie itself, it happened about 8 months after. So they could have done a thing where they released Far From Home in like October, November to like kind of
give it that
but at the same time,
time.
it is a like summer. It's taking place over a summer, so like
Right.
that it is a summer vacation, right? Or is it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Well, they say school trip, but it's also summer vacation. So I don't know. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But my thing is like it's not the same season in Paris as it is in America. So something didn't add up.
I think it is. The seasons
Is
flip
it,
if
or
you
is
go
it-
to the southern hemisphere.
Okay, so it's more down. Okay, so it's not across. It's
Yeah.
down. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But I was like, I don't know. It was just I was confusing a little bit, but no big deal.
But yeah, I really liked it. I felt it did its job perfectly.
Very good movie. Yeah.
It was.
And also,
Yeah.
yeah. My only thing, I wish it focused a little more on the spider set. I know that was the main thing going on, but I wish there was more because like we saw like our first little look at it was in Infinity War. Like, oh man, this is happening, kind of. And then it was kind of because it felt like, oh, he doesn't need it. He has all this stuff, but now it's like, okay, now he actually does need it. The suit's not everything. It kind of felt like he was just going to be an Iron Man clone, kind of.
Yeah.
With just all the suit tech and all this stuff. But no, he's definitely making his own thing, which is great. But I just wish there was a little more on the spider sense because it's a really undervalued ability.
Yeah. Yeah, and like they don't need to call it spider sense. Like you know what they mean by Peter Tinkle, like Peter Tinkle. So they'll probably like.
That's all I know.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll give it a 9.2. I felt it. I honestly don't really see much wrong with it.
Yeah, I just gave it a 9 straight up.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Yeah, like it's a really good movie, fun, like enjoyable. Definitely want to see it again. Probably won't see it in theaters again just because money is tight.
Yeah,
but it's
once it starts streaming on Disney Plus, so which you probably have.
Yep, I've got to.
Yeah.
So like,
Can't not. Like especially once Clone Wars season 7 comes, like I have to get it.
This is one of the like between Clone Wars, Marvel movies, other Disney stuff. Like, come on.
Of like the Loki, Falcon, and Bucky show, like
yeah.
Not fair. It's just not fair.
Yeah. They have all the good stuff, and really, I might get rid of my other stuff.
But apparently, there's at least a rumor that if Far From Home doesn't break $1 billion, Sony is planning on cutting ties with Marvel over Spider-Man movies. I don't know the legitimates of that, or if Disney would even let them do that.
Yeah, I've heard. They can't do that, can they?
I mean, Sony must hate money if they did, because Disney's giving them. I think they're splitting it 50-50. I think. So.
Like everything Spider-Man's in, so I mean that's big money.
Yeah.
Does that count for like movies? Is that only for Spider-Man movies?
I think it's only Spider-Man, like named Spider-Man. I don't think it counts for Avengers movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't think Sony was in the credits anywhere for Endgame or Civil War or anything.
Probably not.
So yeah, if you haven't seen Far From Home yet, please do, because if you don't, you might not get more, because Sony's dumb. Speaking of companies that are dumb,
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Real quick, I just want to get your thoughts on two quotes from some EA spokesperson.
Okay.
So, the first one is someone from the EA, I think EA UK division, like went before Parliament or like some like important, like basically their version of the U.S. Senate, like their like legal people over there, and like was grilled about the legitimacy of loot boxes and if they're ethical or not. So I didn't get the exact quote, but here's generally what this guy had to say when it comes to loot boxes. We don't like to call them loot boxes. They are surprise mechanics and are very ethical and fun.
I do not agree. I disagree.
They are surprise mechanics and are very ethical and fun.
I don't think I won't go as far as to say they're unethical because that makes it sound like they're malicious. But I do think they are nowhere near fun. I think they suck and are a terrible mechanic. I don't think they're unethical, but I think they're terrible.
And like more of the quote, he tried to like tie it back to these, to like little those little like mystery bags you can buy at Walmart that like have a little action figure inside, or like in the 80s they had like Cadbury eggs had like little toys inside which people choked on. So like that's not a good comparison. So and like yes, though, but the reason why those are more or less okay is because when you buy a mystery bag and you get an action, like a little mini figure out of it, that is a physical item you can keep, you can put on your shelf, you can do whatever you want with.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy a loot box in Star Wars Battlefront 2, what do you get? When you buy a pack of cards or whatever in FIFA, you get digital players or whatever. Like you get digital currency, digital weapons. Like that's why people have such a problem with these loot boxes, because they're not yours to do anything with aside from look at on your screen. But once EA shuts down the servers for Battlefront 2, you're not going to be able to use them anymore, so...
It's really just some way to circle back to get in the loot box, and that becomes...
like, you have to have... There's got to be something wrong with your brain to be like, we don't call them loot boxes. I know we're the ones who actually coined the term, but like, we don't call them loot boxes. They're surprise mechanics, and they're fun. What is wrong with you?
Fun. I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone likes loot boxes. No one that plays games really, I don't think really likes loot boxes. Like, if no one's like, my preferred way of like getting stuff through a game is loot boxes. But I don't know. I like the idea of just like saving up to get stuff. Like that's one thing.
Yeah.
As long as it's not ridiculously like set up. But
whatever.
I'm not making the game.
Kind of tying into this quote, there was another quote a few weeks later from the head of EA, and again, I don't have the quote exactly, but to paraphrase it, EA had been on people's good sides for the better part of 20 years, and then just a few years ago, we started to be painted as the bad guys. Now, we EA hate being labeled as the bad guys. We see it as you, the players, are the reason why we're seen as the bad guys.
Yeah, who else would tell you that? Of course we think you're the bad guy. Unless you call it yourself, who else is in that equation?
we were good for 20 years. What like we were good back then. Why are you saying we're so bad now? Because you're bad now. It's like, what do you want from us?
You make work. Your games have gotten worse.
Worse? All the companies
Yeah.
you've bought have been either worked to make it crap or shut down.
Or both.
Yeah. Like you you're blaming the fans for calling it
For
was.
giving you honest criticism.
And like another part of this is that he Anthem, after its initial sales boom, it just fell out flat after about a month. Like no one's playing it anymore. And this guy tried to say that the reason why Anthem failed is because the players didn't play the game right. There was a group of fans who wanted a Destiny style experience, which we never said was coming. They totally said that was coming. They compared Anthem to Destiny multiple times, and another group of people wanted a BioWare, action RPG, which we never really promised. They promised that multiple times. They touted that this is the next BioWare action RPG multiple times. Like you said multiple times it would have a BioWare story. But because fans wanted either of them and never came together to like it as a collective, it's their fault it failed. When really EA just never delivered on either of those things.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know. I guess they're just trying. I don't like. My thing is, if you're selling a game, you can't blame the people that play the game to why your game failed. If we don't like the game, you're doing it wrong. Like you can't be like, oh, my game's good, you just don't like it. We're the only people we're gonna buy your game. So if we don't like it, you're doing a bad job. That's just by definition how it works.
Like it's one thing if it's like an indie developer who's like one or two guys as like a passion project for them, and they think it's really good, but it comes out and people don't really like it. That's one thing. But this is EA. They've made very similar mistakes multiple times, yet they're trying to say it's the fans' fault for not liking it now. It's like, what?
Right?
They didn't like it for Battlefront 1 or Battlefront 2 or Battlefield 5 or now Anthem or Mass Effect Andromeda. It's like, you have had at least 5 different examples of things you did for this game that went bad, yet you tried it again, like, and you expected fans to receive it differently. Like, that's not how this works.
That's not how this works. I mean, I don't know. It's just funny because EA's like now like starting to hear like people were hating on EA for a while, but now EA's finally like, okay, let's address this. Why? Like my thing, if I'm EA, you're like, you can't blame anybody. Like you can't go to the courts and be like, I'm gonna sue these gamers for not buying my games. Like you either make good games that people want to buy, or you are not gonna make money. Like that's
that easy.
I mean, there's no course of action. It's not unethical for me to buy your game because I don't like it. It's my opinion on whether I want to buy the game. And if I don't want to buy the game, I don't have to.
Yeah. Like, if anything, it's the gamer's right and responsibility to tell you your game is bad, so then you can improve and make better games.
Exactly. And that's the thing. EA's like, wait, you're not buying our game. What do we do? No, let's get mad at the player. Why don't we just make a better game? Because that would be I don't know, cheating the player. I don't know, something.
And then they have this program where like they take struggling indie devs and pay for their games to be made. They don't actually do anything; they just publish it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to say like, look, we've made all these great games with our indie initiative. When they didn't do anything, they just paid for it. They're like, look, we're good guys here. Why does no one see that? It's like, because you're not doing anything. You're not trying to get goodwill back with your IPs. You're just saying, hey, this is something that could give us goodwill. Let's pay for it and just use it as a shield. Like that's not. Oh, that's so gross.
That's so gross. It's like make me cringe.
Okay, so I don't expect them to change their ways anytime soon. I would like for them to go back to the EA of 20 years ago when they were actually, when they weren't as loud and bad.
Even like 10 years ago, yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
this bad. Like,
Hmm. Back when FIFA was actually a new FIFA every year, not just the same engine for
yeah,
since 2000.
same game,
I think it's
reskins,
been the
every.
same engine, or like at least a modified of the same engine for the past 9 games, I think, or something ridiculous like that. Uh,
9
or something.
games.
It was the same engine for a long time.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean they're not. They're like and like EA games are trying to add like, oh, look at this new mechanic. Like you remember
Hmm.
when like games used to have like 5 new mechanics every year or something like
Yeah,
that. Like it was you could like even if it looked semi similar, like the gameplay you could tell it was very
new mini
different.
games,
Now it's
new
like
like online modes, like just new
exactly.
custom
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
new game modes, all this stuff. Like now, if I can pick up the game, I can pick up the game and know every single mechanic, and not have played like, any of the 5 previous ones,
hmm
but know, like, but know all the mechanics between a 5 year gap and everything perfectly. That's not
it's not.
generally a great sign.
And then they keep trying to say like, oh, we're still strong partners with Nintendo. We release FIFA on the Switch every year. Yeah, that's it. Only FIFA.
Okay, who plays FIFA?
The
I mean,
Switch is
I don't
destroying
know.
everything else, especially in Japan. Yet you're just not giving it
That's right.
anything else outside of FIFA. It's like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, do you really want anything else outside of FIFA from
No,
EA?
but at least like the idea of them trying, or at least make like a new like an exclusive game for the Switch, or like I remember on the Wii there was like an exclusive Dead Space game for just for the Wii. Do something similar like that. You can't get Dead Space 3 on there, so just make a brand new game that works with the system.
Yeah.
But no, they don't want to try. They just want to
Buy someone else's idea
yep,
and claim it as their own.
buy something else's idea. If that idea doesn't work, fire that company. Buy a new one. If that doesn't work, fire that company. Buy like, uh, now the
Not even
Dead
a-
Space branch is actually already shut down. So immediately used to make that, they're not there anymore. But Fallen Order still looks good, right?
Oh, man.
He's got no
I
loot
mean-
boxes. We should cheer for them, right?
I mean, see, no loot boxes yet. So they'll figure out some kind of dumb,
Yep.
fun mechanic.
Fun, very ethical mechanic.
Very ethical, not at all terrible, and make me want to throw my controller through your console.
Hmm.
Well, Sony's console,
Okay.
or Microsoft, depending.
Oh well. Okay, got anything else you want to talk about real quick before we sign off?
Not too much really. I'm just glad we saw Spider-Man. Very exciting, and just such a good
Yeah, I still have super high hopes for Marvel stuff going forward. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
and
hype
that's
for
and
stuff.
yeah, like
it hasn't waned at
yeah,
all.
like yeah, and like I know like one of my roommates was kind of like, yeah, okay, now Endgame's over, I can kind of chill out with Marvel movies. I'm like, I mean, they won't be Avengers big for a minute, but they're still gonna be good movies.
Yeah.
Like because he was like, I don't really want to go see Spider-Man. I'm like, dude, the movie's still gonna be awesome,
It's still Spider-Man. Like, come on.
right? Lion King comes out next weekend, so like that, I'm excited for that.
I'm not.
You're not?
Not.
Dude, like it doesn't. I think it can be good.
They released a part of the Hakuna Matata sequence, and there's been a side-by-side comparison. Literally, the part they showed was at the end of the song is just Simba, Pumbaa, and Timon just running, stopping to sing, running, singing some more, running,
running.
and then running into the sunset. That's it. That's the entirety. It's not like in the original. They're like jumping into a pond, like dancing across a bridge, like
Yeah, doing a bunch of stuff,
Like,
eating bugs. and
actually having
crabs.
character with how they move. No, they're just running around. It's just I'm probably gonna see it. My mom really wants to see it, but like I'm not excited at all. But it's gonna make money. It might at least. The music is still going to be very good. The casting is still going to be very good.
Right.
So I can probably still find enjoyment in that. But as far as just the animation goes, especially when Lion King has some of the most expressive animation of any movie ever, it's just I don't know. I'm just not gonna.
We'll have to. Yeah,
We'll see.
I don't know. Like and like you said, like I know like the cast is insanely good, and obviously there's a ton of money being put in it. So I feel like it should like generally it should be okay. I don't know if it'll be up to standards of the original, but my thing is like what we usually do is like for Aladdin, we watch the original like the day before, the day of, the day we go see the new one, and I think that really helps critique it and also enjoy things about it that you didn't enjoy about the original.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's like oh they explained this like in Aladdin they would explain something better in the movie than in the original or something like that. So you can kind of find other things about the new one you can find. So I think that's what I'm gonna do.
I just don't trust them to change much about Lion King. Like it's just such an important franchise. I just don't. I don't know.
Lion King is that like S tier like level of movie, so like it's gonna be hard to make it that good again.
Yeah, and I feel Jon Favreau. From one review I heard, like he said he feels like Jon Favreau was too scared to change anything because people would be could be like, you changed Lion King, how dare you? But he was also, but it might also not have been the best idea to make like shot for shot remakes because it was like, you ruined Lion King. Like, why would you do this? So,
and that's the thing with these live action, because like when you look at it, it's like I think Beauty and the Beast, they like Beauty and the Beast, I feel like they changed a lot, almost too much. But then like Aladdin, they changed just enough, so it's kind of finding that balance of change enough that you notice a difference, but not enough that it's like this isn't even the same movie anymore.
Yeah,
and that's what's going to be difficult, especially for Lion King is just loved by everybody. So it's like, this is going to be
there's a very obvious way they could have gotten around this whole quandary, but they like money, so they're not going to not make it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just leave it how it is. Like you could, but like you could, but they're not. You know, they're not going to. Oh, well. And it's still gonna make $1 billion. Like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be $1 billion. It's coming out in the summer, and it's The Lion King. It's automatic. You could put the Broadway play, just some guy recording with a camcorder in the back, and make $1 billion.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be fine.
Oh well, but yeah, I'm probably gonna see that at some point this summer, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be good.
I'm going to see
we'll
it.
See. I don't know.
I am going to see it opening night more than likely. Okay. So
have fun with that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. Like I have friends. Like I have a friend who she loves the Lion. Like she said she's got a shirt, she's got earrings, everything. So like, it's gonna be intense. So
okay.
We'll see.
And yeah, with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care.